My 34F husband 33M won't stop talking to his ex 30F. What can I do at this point? I posted in AITAH, but I think that may be the wrong community. Long post. I am going to explain this the best I can. There's a lot of history and I can't cover it all. This may be long. I genuinely need guidance, wisdom, prayer, anything. From very early on in knowing my 34F husband 33M, his ex, Vanessa 30F, has been in the picture. When my husband and I first met 9 years ago, married 7, he told me he had a lot going on and wanted to take things slow. That was fine with me initially, but as we continued to spend weeks and months together, I fell in love and wanted to make things official. He explained that he wasn't ready, and I also found out that him and Vanessa were still talking. They were together for 2 years prior. This bothered me. I let him know I was not going to be staying around while he went back and forth and we could break things off, but I was good on him. He decided to commit and go for a relationship, and we did. Things were great, but Vanessa and him talking kept popping up. I found messages. She would drive by his apartment randomly and I had caught them meeting up and talking. Whenever I confronted him, he told me he wanted to be with me, and I never understood why he still talked to her. They ended badly but kept sleeping together. When we met, they had been broken up for 9 months but were still involved, which I later found out. So a lot of times I felt the energy that I was the only one who had an issue with them talking. This was all during college. Fast forward to us graduating and having our first child. He was still talking to her, and the messages were no longer I love yous or anything, just them talking all day about whatever. I have gone through the call log countless times and found out he was still talking to her even though he's told me he's not. When I confront him, he tells me, the issue is not him talking to her, the issues are that I don't listen to him or respect him as a man. I will agree, I don't have the most respect for him. I love him, but in terms of respect, I feel he has a backbone when it comes to me and not her. I believe a man should stand on his word. I know he is a man. I am just saying I don't have the respect for him I should, and I know men need respect. There was a time when they were still communicating into us having 2 kids, and so I decided to get to know her because maybe it is platonic like he says. Well, her and I got really cool and it became a friendship. Unfortunately, also during this time they began talking and FaceTiming every day. My husband has always wanted a threesome and asked for one with me and her, which I did consider, but things didn't work out when we all hung out together, as it seemed they were more interested in reconnecting than build a bond with me. After this experience, I told him that I wanted her out of our life and their relationship was inappropriate, but he blamed me because I am the thing that made them closer. He always seemed kinder toward her and way more patient, forgiving, even though she left him right after his mom passed, cheating on him with a shared friend. I have never cheated, been here every day and always loved him. But my loyalty never bought me patience. He holds a lot against me, like when we were in college, in our first few months. His apartment needed basic things like cleaning stuff and simple foods. I bought a bunch of stuff for it and he got angry instead of thankful because he said he told me not to buy anything. He has brought this up many times over the years, as well as other examples of how I don't listen, and our relationship is always a power struggle for the way I want to do things versus the way he wants to. For example, he wanted to save for a home and I for sure have an online shopping problem, so he feels I have been sabotaging us getting ahead. I have since stopped ordering things. For years it was what made me feel good, and I am still trying to understand that. I stay at home, eat with the kids 7M4F, I homeschool them. I never get a break and he's always working. By the time he gets home he is usually depleted of energy, etc., and so I make dinner and get the kids ready for bed. Our life isn't exciting and he tells me that he's bored a lot. I am too. I had a glamorous life before him and the kids, like with us not doing anything or me always dragging my feet on going out cause it takes so much for me to get ready. I feel he could do more to help me and make things easier on me, but he wanted me to show that initiative, I think, and just be fabulous all the time. These are just a few issues he has with me. I have my issues too, but honestly she is the biggest one. I feel an ex shouldn't be in the picture at all unless here are kids shared, and there aren't. He says she's not the problem because even when he doesn't talk to her I still don't trust or respect him and we still have issues. It's a catch-22 cause she's the reason I don't trust or respect him. It breaks my heart and makes me feel like a rebound. I have told him this many times over the years. He still calls her. She still answers. She even told me that's my responsibility when I confronted her about it because according to her when he was her man he didn't do that. I haven't talked to her since she called me for advice cause her man was cheating on her. I was there for her but honestly was thinking you have the most nerve. There is so much history I've endured of him telling me how much he loves me and how he chose me, wanted to be with me, but still they talk. I found out they were talking regularly in December. We went to counseling. He got upset that the therapist told him he was wrong for involving his ex this far into his marriage, and so we never went back. He said he would stop talking to her in therapy, but he started calling her again in February. I had a dream they were talking. I asked him and he told me he was going to tell me, but yes, they were talking. I told him I couldn't do this anymore, and he said he's tired of me making her out to be the problem when we have so many issues. I told him I wanted to go to therapy and I didn't care who it was, we just needed help, we have many issues, but I simply cannot get past her. We haven't gone anywhere else to therapy. I told him how it makes me feel and why it has crushed me over 9 years for him to still communicate with her. I told him he could go 6 months without her and I don't trust him. He said he would prove it to me, but he didn't want to have to deal with me bringing her up and never getting over it. I explained, how can I get over it when you cannot? He always says he doesn't want to be with her and my response is always, but can you be without her? Because WTH. I also have daddy issues because my dad was a cheater, was always gone with other women, has kids born at the same time as my mom's, and I grew up without him even though I needed a dad to protect me. I love my dad still, but I am so disappointed that his lack of self-control with other women ruined my childhood. This is an issue for me because it makes me feel worthless or not good enough. I need therapy and have nowhere to go. I talk to no one, I bottle everything up, and this is probably why I am not exciting anymore and often in a poor low mood by time he comes home, and I've been here all day without a break and still won't get one until he gives the kids showers and puts them to bed, but even then, I am still helping. He does do a lot with the kids when he can. They adore him and he adores them. He's a great dad and I never want to get in the way of that. As a couple, he says he feels unheard. I always frequently say the same. Well, we went on a family trip the other day and when I was putting directions in the GPS, their IG thread was open and him and Vanessa are back communicating. I felt crushed and the same feelings from years ago returned. Things have not been perfect in our marriage. I've been depressed and I do not get a break really from the kids, which has been hard for me because I am drowning mentally. He has a big friend base and is always talking to him. Friends in their group chats or on the phone. All my friends live far. I am so lonely. I have been distant since I found out they talk again and very angry. I feel betrayed. He promised me. Again, I feel so stupid, but when I talked to him about it he said she wasn't in the picture for months and we still argued. He hadn't been talking to her. When I asked to see the thread he deleted it as always. They just started back talking SMH. He said he has been feeling very low, it was a moment of weakness. That talking to her is not about her but how happy he was at that time in his life because his mom was still around and everything was going good. After she passed, he kind of lost everything and then we met. I never experienced him on the mountaintop like he was able to give her. He lost everything and I feel like my amazingness got wrapped up as a consolation prize for him losing the life he wanted. His mom was the closest thing to him in the entire world, and when he lost her he stopped caring about everything else. I feel so angry at myself. 2 kids and no options later here I am still wanting him to forsake all others because I am the bomb. Even Vanessa told him she wants to be more like me but also that she loves me, which I don't get sometimes. He even says they talk about me and she gives advice on how to be better to me, take me out, etc. I don't know guys, I am so hurt and confused. I have nowhere to go. No real money saved, just a sparkly personality and a genuine soul. I am wondering if I am for being in this situation because I did try to get cool with her and even considered a threesome. So I often feel like I am the one who is wrong for being bitter about them getting closer because I should have never tried to befriend her. He feels I did it to spy on them, but truly I just wanted to bring us closer so he could stop hiding this from me. I just didn't like what I saw. I know they're not meeting up and that he does love me. He always says I am the one for him and I do it for him, but I can't shake the feelings I get when I find out about them communicating. If you know anyone who has gone through this, what did they do?